by doing, like, by addressing these other heroes, like you mentioned, the Valkyrie, the Corrupted, the Lodestone, they forget about other heroes, such
Well,
as the Keeper.
and we saw, we saw Team Tim run a huge Lord Salforest against Busno GG in the first match of their series. And I feel like Arachna is a pretty solid. I mean, they actually, if I'm not mistaken, can't see the pick history now because it was in the last game, but I think that they picked the Salforest in response to the Arachna. I'm not sure. Or maybe
Alfora
Arachna
was
was.
the last pick, yeah.
Yeah. So Arachna is a very good hero against Salforus, I think, in theory. She's got a lot of tools to deal with him in lane, and then of course, able to just pop the very powerful Hardened Carapace to help deal with the heavy magic damage of Salforus and the unremovable state of the Undying. So it feels like Arachna is a very, very strong counterpick to the Lord Salforus mid. So going to be keeping my eyes on this lane if I can. And of course, we're going to have Keeper in the bottom, setting up for the 1v1 against. Maybe not going to get the 1v1 as Pharaoh is in the top lane here. So it's going to be tri lane versus solo in both the top and the bottom lanes, and then mid versus mid, of course. Zane doing a really good job. I mean, look at what Zane's up to with these trees, just scouting out the bottom lane completely.
And he hasn't been able to show it off, but a lot of people know Zane for this hero and other types of heroes because he's a baller at macro, right? He controls several units so well. There are old clips of him playing Keeper where he just kills people by completely blocking them and locking them down with his creeps and his minions. It's what he does.
Right.
Quick fingers.
So Deadwood, understanding that Keeper is here solo bottom, feeling that Andromeda and Moon Queen can deal with him effectively without him, so just quickly making a rotation here next to South Forest in the mid lane, but going to be spotted out by this ward placed by Zane. Seen this ward placement before in a very interesting spot at the top of that little staircase at the top of the Legion jungle.
It's a good ward. Absolutely. And it shows the rune as well.
South Forest just forced to play very, very, very conservatively against the already heavy lane bully of Arachna, knowing that Deadwood's there, but the triple stun, the double stun rather, coming out on Pharaoh, taking a bang, activates the Hellfire, and is actually able to walk away under the cover of the tower. Will live and pot up. So a nice try for the Bloodlust between Magnus Clinks and Nymphora, but Pharaoh not falling prey to it yet.
And we forgot to mention the Moon Queen versus Keeper. Like, she just clears out his creeps, right?
Right. Yeah, she's got that lovely mechanic for multi-strike, but yeah, Self-Horus taking a lot of damage, gets caught by a Rotten Grasp to the web shot spam of Arachna. So Arachna, at this point, they're matched in levels, but Arachna has just had a very good time. 350 GPM, and we see a death from neutrals on Taipei playing Nymphora, so...
Sorry, but yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was intentional or not. Missed it completely. Rotten Grass is going to miss on Salforus. Port's coming into the mid lane. So Nymphora is here to help assist Salforus.
Where's Magnus?
Arachna is going to be caught, but that Rotten Grasp is going to slow the advance of Magnus. Now it's Arachna turning on Salforus, peppering in some auto attacks. So now Pharaoh getting a little 1v1 situation in the top lane, but still playing very conservatively as he understands that Clanks has a pretty large lead on him. Salforus and Nymphora get caught by that Rotten Grasp in the mid lane. You love this play from Deadwood here, just sitting in the fog on the other side of the trees the whole time, just throwing in Rotten Grasp. But here we go. Keeper of the Forest taking a lot of damage from Andromeda and Moon Queen, but actually putting a lot of damage back onto the two of them himself.
Yeah, how we're looking at, we can look at some stats. While nothing is happening, that's always fun. Because Clank's 19 to 11 or 12, that's a lot of denies.
Right.
while I say that, they're gonna go mid, of course, because we're not gonna get a second break in these games.
Well, one of the things that I'm noticing about, you have two heroes having a great time, Moon Queen and Arachna, two heroes that you want to have a good start. Both heroes having several creep kills. But you know who's else is having a fantastic time getting creep kills that I wouldn't have expected is Keeper of the Forest, 18 and 4.
Yep.
In the 2v1.
Yep.
So I think we're starting to see why this hero is banned against Zane. I mean, he's just making it happen, being outnumbered in his lane, just equal with Moon Queen.
Yeah, he's yeah, that's just what he does. There's a lot of things this guy does that I don't understand how he does, and yet he still does it. It's sometimes quite impressive. It looks like they're gonna set up something in the mid lane as there's a flanking Deadwood. He's still level 1 though. He's barely gotten any XP.
Too, though.
He has a double damage.
Rotten Grasp is going to connect onto South Forest, and here he comes, throwing in auto attacks. Here's one double damage auto attack, a second one, and Bloodlust is going to fall, and now it's Nymphora who's also in a lot of trouble. It's a double kill Bloodlust for Puppet Soul on Arachna, so here we go. We've got a game for the Arachna mid laner up to 450 gold per minute. So this hero, I'm wondering how it's going to be played beyond this point. It shines in laning phase, but it feels like it can get punished by stun lockdown later in the game. Doesn't have a natural farming mechanic, so South Forest, though he might have a slower start, will be able to bounce back if given some space. But Deadwood getting caught out by Keeper and Nymphora, and we see that root from the Nature's Guidance coming out onto Deadwood. Lining up a nice stun for Nymphora, but it's Pharaoh in the top lane is going to fall first to Magnus and Clanks, but putting them both under fire. And Deadwood trying to juke and jive behind this tier 2 tower, buying a lot of time for Moon Queen in the bottom lane and pulling South Forest away from the mid lane. I see a port from Clanks to actually clean up that kill on Deadwood.
Free kill for me. He gets a double tap for it because he just killed the Pharaoh top. I mean, it's a free kill for your carry. I mean, might as well. He gets, 150 gold for it, and he paid 100 for the TP. But I mean, we can probably, because it's such a key element to this hero and their team fight in general.
Yeah, Pharaoh getting swarmed here. The Keeper ulti is ready, but not going to commit to it yet. Nymphora and Clanks are kind of getting into position, but Pharaoh pushed back to the tier 1 tower. Going to be able to evade this gank for now. But with 3 down here, one of them being Keeper, they could decide to make a push for this tower very soon. And might also probably going to be able to get it unless there is support coming out from the teammates. Moon Queen now in the top lane, farming fairly comfortably against the solo Magnus. So, kind of wondering exactly what item setup Moon Queen's going to go to. Probably going to build into Whispering Helm, as she typically does, if given the free farm to do so. Yeah. She'll probably live in the jungle for a good long while, if allowed, while Arachna and Pharaoh kind of create the space for her. And I love this. One thing that I need to point out for our viewership is just the way that Andromeda and Moon Queen's auras are going to work together for Moon Queen and Arachna. I mean, both of these heroes are going to be doing a lot of damage just from that aura stack inside of a team fight. But also, what's great about the Andromeda pick is just, given how fragile Arachna can be and how immobile she can be because she has no natural escape. Same thing is true about the Moon Queen. Andromeda just a really, really great pick for both of these heroes. Absolutely. To supplement their lack of mobility.
Just people sitting behind carries at the moment. Nobody wants them to die.
Yeah, and Daunova Brigada certainly has the carry advantage in numbers, so if they can ride this wave all the way to the late game stage, it seems like they're going to be the ones to be reckoned with. But yeah, South Forest in the mid lane has the spider thrown on him with Deadwood there, but no time to talk about it as Pharaoh getting gone on in the bottom lane. Stun connects from Nymphora. Keeper has the root available to him, but he might not need it. The Wrath of the Pharaoh tries to buy him some time, but going to end up falling. So Keeper of the Forest Clinks and Nymphora finding a Pharaoh to feast upon as they turn their eyes not towards the bottom tower yet. Does this surprise you? It feels like Keeper would be able to just keep those creeps on the tower and make a push for it. They're just deciding to back off and farm at the moment instead of pushing for the tower.
I guess you can play a little selfish with the Keeper just to get some items and stuff and get some farm on you and just keep that going, because he did have a good start. Might want to help out middle at some point.
Yeah, he is making his
moving
way
towards
towards
it.
middle. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can heal up that tower, because that's the thing. They don't quickly push. Look, now he's healing it, yeah? They can't quickly push this tower. Arachna going in.
Arachna going pretty hard. Alforus gets the spider thrown on him. The Undying not able to come out. Arachna able to evade the stun from Nymphora. So another kill. It's an ultimate warrior streak for Arachna, but Clanks is pursuing, and now in order to dodge that bang, he had to turn around. Magnus not able to get in line for a stun. Gets stunned by Andromeda instead. Does the lava surge into the Hellborn Ancients and is actually able to start his walk away. So nicely played by Volca on Magnus to escape. But unfortunately, after all is said and done, Arachna gets a 4th kill on the mid laner Salforus.
You know what happens when Puppet Soul gets free farm and a good start.
Yeah, he creates the space, 100%.
He usually does. He usually does. He has brass knuckles. Is that what they're called? Yes, they are. And he has the refreshing ornament. So I don't know. It feels like he has just a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, he is going.
Startup.
It looks like he is going the Astrolabe setup, and the Wrath of the Pharaoh is going to miss on Imboboy in the bottom lane, who is about 2/3 of the way. Oh, the spider gets thrown on him, though. He has to run from Arachna. The bang connects. Pharaoh trying to dive with Arachna. They're deciding not to. And here's Magnus. Throws down the Lava Surge on Pharaoh. The bang soon to follow. It is going to connect on Pharaoh, but the Nymphora Zeal does miss. The pod goes down. It connects on Pharaoh. Arachna finds the kill onto Magnus and also finds it on Imboboy. Pharaoh doing a hell of a job juking around these trees, and now it's Nymphora taking the web shots, going to try and throw the stun into the trees. It's a triple kill for Arachna, creating space indeed.
That's what we knew was going to happen, and while they're fighting bottom, Moon Queen is just walking in on the Sunforest mid, not going to kill him, but pushes him out of the lane, just stopping him from doing anything.
This is not what I was expecting necessarily from this Hellborn draft. I mean, I knew they had a lane advantage with the Arachna over the Salforus, but especially once I saw Zane getting a good start on Keeper, who's going on Deadwood, pops the ulti, but Arachna is here to throw the spider, so Keeper is going to get Deadwood, but at the cost of his own life. And it's another kill for Arachna, who is now 8-0, 530 GPM in game 1, 12 minutes in. I mean, he is just massive. Finishes the Astrolabe, has 5 charges on a Brass Knuckles with the Ghost Marchers, pumping out 150 damage on these auto attacks. And all the while, Moon Queen just able to comfortably farm in the jungle.
Chilling. He has a Sackstone, a Whispering Helm. Having the time of his life.
Salforus getting gone on. One more auto attack from Andromeda. Not enough to finish him off. Andromeda. It's the illusion, rather. Ooh, but the Rotten Grass catches Magnus. They have the Ward of Revelation. Forced to try and retreat. Clanks and Nymphora ported behind. Forced to retreat as well.
Oh, the Pharaoh sent his Torment Soul and it hit Salforus. He dropped to like 2 HP. That was...
Oh, on the way back to base, I missed it.
Just behind the tower, even. It was so close. Ugh.
This is scary stuff. I mean, look at... I just can't take my eyes away from the scoreboard now that I noticed it. Look at Arachna here. 9-0 on his team. Other 4 players, 0-0-0-0. We got some assists, right? But
yeah, but he's responsible for every kill. In any shape or form. Yeah, he's been in every single kill. So getting a kill onto this Arachna would be extremely valuable for the Legion team, and they're not going to be able to do much right now, and they're just going to sacrifice this tower.
Thunderclaw is finished on Clanks, so despite, you know, kind of getting slowed down a little bit, has a reasonable start on Clanks. But, you know, we've got this monstrous start on Arachna in the mid lane, who's going to be able to push towards a third item here, or at least a third kind of laning item. Probably pushing towards a core item, I would imagine. Very curious to see exactly what core item he decides to go, whether it's going to be a portal key or something larger.
Top lane?
But yeah, top lane is getting pushed very heavily by Keeper. But I look at Moon Queen, who's just quietly farming up to 500 GPM. The Keeper of the Forest gets caught by the Rotten Grass. The Ward of Revelation is down. The Keeper ulti is used. The Nymphora port is here. The double stun comes out onto Deadwood and Andromeda. They are going to get caught by Magnus and Nymphora, and they are going to back away.
That was perfectly
not able
coordinated.
to get the kill on Moon Queen. High value Moon Queen. Pharaoh, Moon Queen wandering too close to this Magnus. Tanks a double stun. There is no follow-up from Nymphora as he doesn't have the mana. And Arachna is here. One web shot ought to do it. Nope. It's the Moon Finale that takes out Nymphora lone in the jungle.
Finishes her Firebrand, so I guess she's gonna go for that Geo that you talked about earlier. From the Moon Queen.
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
No, she just bought a Firebrand on the Moon Queen, so she's gonna go for that Geo that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. It's a pretty... I mean, Moon Queen, one of these heroes that follows the same item path almost every game. It's usually Whispering Helmet of Geos and then a Shrunken Head. It's very little surprises coming out from this hero, other than the fact that it's picked. It's just the first time that we've seen it picked.
It's the main surprise that she's in the game. Well, now she's here, we know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, and this lineup just doing a lot of work for Daunova Brigada right now, who finds the portal key on Arachna. So, you know, one of the occasions where my prediction actually is correct. She ports into the mid lane, might port onto Nymphora here, throws the spider, and Nymphora just no chance. I mean, look at the auto attacks just chunking the HP bar of Nymphora. And Pharaoh barely misses the Wrath of the Pharaoh on Clanks, who's doing a good job of juking and jiving to pull out that cooldown, but it is not their only long-range initiation anymore, as they do have the portal key on Arachna. So Keeper of the Forest now needs to watch out. There is a portal key up on Arachna in 2 seconds. Not holding dust, though. In fact, I'm not seeing anybody holding dust on the Hellborn side, which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, it is. It's not even a
versus
Rev
a
Ward.
Keeper.
Yeah, I've seen them have them earlier, but they should technically have it all the time. It's not just the Keeper either. There's a Magnus as well. Oh, bottom.
See a destroyed tower into a team fight. South Forest is going to get a lot of pressure. Line stun comes and catches Moon Queen. Here comes the Nymphora port, but it's cancelled as they see the Deadwood Rotten Grass laid down. But it is Keeper of the Forest getting caught by Arachna, but mass ports being drawn. Arachna using the regen, walking away, but Nymphora able to catch up pretty fast with these Striders. Arachna able to use the Ghost Marchers to get the distance, has the portal key available now. So after all is said and done, no kills happening on either side of the map. But Hellborn in position to start putting some pressure on the bottom tower here. But Moon Queen, what do you do whenever you've got Moon Queen and Arachna with these starts? Watch out in the mid lane. We have a spider thrown onto Nymphora. Arachna with the 11-0 streak, nearing 600 gold per minute. But watch out, Arachna. You are waddling into 4 heroes here. But unfortunately, just no long-range catch. And actually, she might be looking to go on Clanks. Nope, but the Deadwood does get caught by the Lava Surge. Here's Keeper of the Forest. The Gravewood Punch comes out on Magnus. The Spider gets thrown, quickly killed by Keeper and his minions. And a nice juke from Magnus, going to be able to dodge that Tormented Soul. Probably would have taken him out, as it is a level 4 Tormented Soul. Good juke, but Hellborn getting the bottom tower here with the space provided to them from Deadwood and Arachna in the mid lane. The Geosbane is finished on Moon Queen, and it's another 2,000 gold saved up on Arachna. So you wonder what he's going to decide to go. Maybe a Geo's Bane of his own? I think that's what I would go if I were him.
Oh, there's your Astrolabe.
Oh yeah, the Astro, he's had that for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just cleaning
My
up.
bad.
It's okay. He had it before his portal key, but Moon Queen just picking up stack after stack here. And she's able to keep this up. She is actually going to overtake Arachna. So just imagine Arachna having this phenomenal start of 10-0, 11-0, 590 GPM, and then you just have this other hero, this other carry monster, Moon Queen, who has joined only one kill, it being a lowly Nymphora support, and is still rivaling the monster GPM of the 11-0 mid laner on the same team.
So
How do you deal with
Moon
that?
Queen. It is the Moon Queen, yeah, and just getting any type of stack, she just clears them so fast. There's few heroes that compete with the farming tools of a Moon Queen.
You know, one of them being Forsaken Archer, but we actually saw that hero banned away this game.
Yeah, we did.
So,
This Nymphora is super far up. She used to
she's gonna get
Hello.
caught by Nymphora. Or Nymphora getting caught by Arachna, so it's 12-0, 3 kills away from an Immortal. Andromeda with the Bound Die.
Banks is sitting very far up here, but there's no ulti on the Arachna. I was gonna just knock him down. Is there no stun to help? No, down goes
Reaper of the
Banks.
Forest uses the ulti. And look at these double damage auto attacks from Arachna. 14-0. We almost see an Immortal Arachna 20 minutes into the game. Portal Key does get picked up on, I think, Magnus, so finally a key teamfight item being picked up for Team Tim. And didn't notice that Keeper of the Forest actually has a Portal Key, even though I think he used it to get in on Arachna to try and save Clanks. 4,200 gold saved up on Arachna. Just looking for kill after kill. He's level 16. What is the cooldown on Spider at level 16? 50 seconds.
No. He's level 3, so it's 30.
It's 30?
Am I blind?
I think
It
that's...
says
I'm
30 on my screen.
hovering over the tooltip, it says 50 for me, but he actually picks up, look at his item selection, picks up a Hellflower. That's scary.
Oh.
He gets on top of you. Wow. Keeper of the Forest able to evade that Spider application, and definitely Hellflower just by jumping into the Fog of War at the right moment. Moon Queen sends the Geolutions up the mid lane. Now we're starting to see exactly what Moon Queen is able to do. Just 500 gold shy. Uh-oh, Deadwood. Walking by Magnus. Magnus and Clank's playing very aggressive. Whole team is here. It's actually Deadwood who's in a lot of trouble. Uses the Falcon Punch on Nymphora, but just a last resort. Try and make anything happen, but yeah, it gets caught out.
Did you call it a Falcon Punch?
Yeah, Falcon Punch.
It's like, wait, is that what it's called? No, it's not.
No,
okay,
it's the common nomenclature for our Smash Brothers fans.
All good. I was just like, wait, what? Well, they're gonna catch Moon Queen? If they catch Moon Queen and she pops her ulti immediately.
She actually canceled it, didn't get committed, but Arachna now getting stun locked down and taking auto attacks from Clanks. But she's very, very tanky. She is going to end up falling. There's the Bloodbath streak going to Salforus, who's taking a ton of heat from Moon Queen at the moment. Moon Queen, Keeper, and Nymphora are dead, but they do get a high price for Arachna. They are making a stage in the middle lane. Daunova Brigada deciding that they can take this tier 2 tower in the mid lane, which is a big tower, if they can snipe it while these 3 heroes are dead for Legion. Undoubtedly going to be able to take it. I mean, just look at the damage from this Moon Queen. She's got the Shrunken Head at this point. Finished it right before that fight. 2,200 gold saved up on an Andromeda. What does Andromeda go for with 2,200 gold? Answered. Jadespire, of course.
The Arachna got his immortal streak and then he died. So that was 1,000 golds and gold into Mr. Salforus, who's gonna start buying a Frostfield plate, I guess.
Probably a Frostfield, yeah. Which is definitely going to help tremendously against the two dual core agility carry on the side of the Hellborn,
No
but
cake for you.
I mean, they might just be too farmed. It's 660 GPM on Moon Queen at the moment, 580 on Arachna. Moon Queen just starting to take over. Definitely going to be going for a wing bow shortly, I imagine. That's typically the item that you see picked up after the Geosbane and Shrunken Head are completed. Arachna smoked, getting in position to find a port. She's going to find what kind of rune here? A haste rune in the top lane. Throws the spider onto Salforus. Salforus is kind of in range, but Magmus going to actually miss the stun. A very nicely placed, nicely done portal key. Swaps out the... Who did Andromeda swap out of that Pharaoh wall? Not sure, but Arachna in hot pursuit, looking for some Clank's blood. Gonna be able to find Clanks, but not able to cancel the port in time. Keeper of the Forest now. Needs to be careful. Fora getting jumped by Deadwood, just instantly annihilated. This is a level 9 Nymphora, just not the HP to survive anything. Just gets looked at and his 720 HP is gone. And Arachna, Moon Queen, coming over here to the Legion Kongor, just going to be able to kill it super fast. This is almost certainly a token if they get this.
The other one is still up, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll be able to just retreat to this part of the map. But
Yeah.
here we go. Initiation from Magmus, who dies almost instantly. Here comes the Keeper of the Forest root. Pharaoh able to live a little bit longer with that Wrath of the Pharaoh. The spider gets thrown on Clanks. Arachna putting in auto attacks on Clanks. Clanks is going to fall. It is a genocide except for Nymphora, and not a single hero falls on the side of DB, and it is a quick concede 25 minutes into the game. Daunova Brigada taking out Team